Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to answer to this question: what is like to travel on holiday with an electric vehicle? To answer this question, I will use my MG4. I want to take you along on two road trips I did in the beautiful Cornwall. One in late winter, one in mid-summer. The twist: both journeys had approximately same distance and the same destination, Gwithian beach, but two very different experiences with my electric car. In winter, I went for a cozy accommodation with solar charging, while in summer I packed my MG4 with a roof tent and all the camping gear I need for a true outdoor adventure. I also rely entirely on public rapid charging for my summer trip using Tesla superchargers, which of course I still consider the cheapest and most reliable public charging network, whereas in winter I experience with slow charging from solar panels at my accommodation. If you are wondering whether an EV is practical for long trips, whether camping with an electric car is viable, or if you are just curious about real-world EV efficiency and cost, this is the video for you. So let's hit the road. My winter journey started off nice and easy. This time I left home with a full battery, which, by the way, I highly recommend it. Unlike my summer trip where I forgot to charge overnight and I left with only 55%, this time I was fully prepared. The goal for this trip was simple: drive from Midlands, where I already charged at home, to an accommodation that had solar panels. But of course, a long drive means stopping for a quick break and, why not, a quick battery top-up. After 3 hours and 20 minutes of driving, my first stop was at Tots Farm Tesla supercharger in Exeter, where I charged from 38% to only 62% in just 8 minutes. That's the beauty of rapid DC charging. I paid £7.7. After that, I continued my drive, and after 2 hours and approximately 15 minutes, I arrived at Gwithian beach with 19% left in the battery. The journey was 313 miles, 502 kilometers. On this route, the distance between chargers was between 20 to 70 miles, so even with a car which had an average 150 miles range, it will be easy to do this journey. Of course, you will need to stop twice most likely. Now, here is where things got interesting. I didn't use public chargers during my stay. Instead, I charged my MG4 using solar power from accommodation. Trickle charging on sunny days. I slowly top up the battery in small increments using a 2 kilowatt charger. So from 90% to 48%, from 47 to 72, then I drove around, then from 59 to 68, then from 66 to 79, from 78 to 97, and finally from 97 to 100% just before leaving Gwithian to return home. This method of charging meant that I wasn't just saving money. I was literally driving on renewable. With these charges, I had enough battery to explore Cornwall, grab groceries, visit nearby villages, fishing villages, and of course, get some fish and chips for dinner. On my way back home, I stopped for one last rapid charge at Gloucester service with 30% in the car's battery, 91 miles left, so we're going to charge 20%, which probably will be around 10 minutes. Let's see. I charged from 30% to 60% for £11. By the time I arrived, by the time I pulled the car into the driveway, I still had 27% left in the battery. Total electricity for this trip 139 kilowatts hour, efficiency 4.49 miles per kilowatt hour, 7.23 kilometers per kilowatt hour, cost per mile 3 pence. Cost per kilometer approximately closer to 2 pence per kilometer. Tesla supercharger speed between 111 to 123 kilowatts. Electricity from solar 61 kilowatts hour. Total round trip was 626 miles, 1005 kilometers. So in winter I had a warm, comfortable stay. Surprisingly, the temperature outside was around 10 degrees Celsius. I barely spent anything on charging thanks to the solar power, but now let's contrast that with my summer adventure where things got a little bit more wild. This time the goal was camping. I packed my MG4 with everything I need. A roof tent, an induction hob, plates, cutleries, a French press for coffee and manual coffee grinder, foldable chairs, clothes, and my vehicle to load cable, which lets me use my car's high voltage battery to power electrical appliances up to 3 kilowatts. However, I made a small mistake. I forgot to charge my car overnight, so I started the trip with only 55% battery instead of a full charge. Real life, it can happen. My total trip distance was now a little bit shorter, 592 miles, 947 kilometers. I choose to camp for a night at Tintagel Castle to visit King's Arthur Castle and Merlin's Cave, then drove to visit Eden Project, a unique environmental and educational attraction in Cornwall. It consists of a massive biomes, huge domed greenhouses that house thousands of plant species from around the world, different climates and ecosystems around the world. The project was built in a reclaimed clay pit. From there, I went to camping next to the St. Michael's Mount, a small tidal island located off the coast of Marazion, and for my final destination, I was camping at Gwithian Beach, a stunning sandy beach located on the north coast of Cornwall. It is part of the St. Ives Bay and is well known for its golden sands, excellent surfing condition, and beautiful coastal scenery. For all this, I relied only on Tesla supercharger network to top up my battery. Here is how it went. First charge 36 kilowatts hour on M5 Bristol, 26 kilowatts hour on Lifton, 35 kilowatts hour on Camborne on my return home, and then finally 48 kilowatts hour at Bristol, total 68 pounds. Because of my miscalculation, I arrived home with 45% left in the battery. I charged a bit more on my last charging session, more than I needed. One of the coolest things about this trip was using vehicle to load. Every morning I boil water for my coffee using the induction hob powered by my car. It took just 3.5 minutes to boil water, and the energy use was minimal, about 350 watts hour in total for the 4 morning. For lunch I also cooked using the vehicle to load. I ran the induction hob for approximately 30 minutes on a half power using half of a kilowatt hour, and here is something interesting. I started cooking with 23% battery, and when I finished it was still on 23%. This is how little energy it's actually consumed by an induction hob. Now, in the end, despite camping and relying on public chargers, the trip was super smooth. The stats for this summer trip looks like this. Total electricity, it was higher, 151 kilowatts hour. Efficiency was a little bit lower now, 3.92 miles per kilowatt hour, 6.3 kilometers per kilowatt hour. Cost, of course, it's a bit higher because I rely only on public chargers, 11.5 pence per mile, 7.2 pence per kilometers. So, which was the better experience, winter or summer? Well, That really depends on what you are looking for. If you prefer comfort and minimal charging cost, then staying at an accommodation with solar charging in winter or in summer, it is a fantastic option. On the other hand, if you love the freedom of camping and want to see how an EV can power your outdoor adventures, then the summer setup is totally doable, having and relying on vehicle-to-load function. What this really shows is that traveling with an EV, whether camping or staying in accommodation, is absolutely possible and not complicated at all. You just need to plan your stops, your charging stop. And even then, it is usually as simple as stopping for a coffee break. What do you think? Would you prefer a cozy winter or a cozy summer stay with a solar charging, or a summer camping adventure using vehicle to load? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want a dedicated video on how I use vehicle to load for cooking and boiling water and what type of gears I use, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.